to arrest him
Yeah.
and search him. When he arrested him and searched him, he found basically this guy was armed to the hilt and had a warrant for his arrest. And that
I think
doesn't.
that would happen here as well, in all fairness. I think the minute you
But
touch a
the
police officer in this country, you are that
but my
they
but
can
my
kind of.
point being is, the moment you are arrested for something, it doesn't matter what it is. The police now have access to lots of other
Yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
And once they had, because they're searching for things in public misconduct, we're now allowed access to your private communications. We're allowed access to your laptops. We're allowed access to your royal files. And that actually might be why they didn't inform the royal household, because I said to you the other day, when the Queen died and the Queen Mother died, all the personal diaries and letters get burned. They get destroyed
Yeah.
because they're considered personal private property. And there is an argument that, well, it'd be valuable for history, but from the royal family's point of view, it's like, well, no, it's private,
Hmm.
it's private property. It belongs to our family, and we don't want it discussed. Um, so there is that, and from this point, that if all of the suspicions that Andrew are true, I wonder what photo or video memorabilia will be on his laptops, or his hard drives,
It's
or
an
his
interesting question.
memory sticks. And as you have educated me several times, I keep going down the road of, I don't understand why he hasn't fled to a country like Saudi that doesn't have an extradition treaty with us. And you're like, because he's a narcissist in the royal family and doesn't think he can be touched.
So, should we go back to this narcissist little
Yes,
game that I want
please.
to play?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Because this should be
Thank
fun.
you for your patience.
Remember, we're not taking this too seriously. I'm not trying to diagnose anything. I don't think I'm clever, all these kind of things. It's a little bit of fun for
I think I'm
um
I'm YouTube
to try
qualified.
and help us build a little bit of, knowledge and repertoire, whatever
Yeah.
else. Just a bit of fun. So the way HG Tudor describes the what has he called it? Upper lesser type A narcissist. Basically, he calls him a deathbed narcissist, which is quite funny because that
Deathbed.
assumes before you even go in and think about it and write in the comments below, what does a deathbed narcissist? What would that term mean to you? Go on, David. What would it
If
mean to
if
you?
you're on your deathbed, you've basically been read your last rites.
There you go. There you go. So you're assuming you're on your deathbed. So let's get into this a little bit more. So so when H.G. Tudor was describing this, it is a really good video. He was basically telling a story between the Grim Reaper and a narcissist, not any specific narcissist, just a narcissist of this type of category. How that conversation would go down before the Grim Reaper literally chops his head off, or in the story's case, he dies in a flash of flames in some kind of jet skiing accident or whatever else it was. But either way, it was a bit of a playboy. This character, hence the upper lesser type A Prince Andrew, bit of a playboy.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, so it kind of fits to that sense. So, so he's classed as being performative with childlike enthusiasm and delusional about the reality that he's in right now. So the
Yeah.
scenario that he put forward is he's been in this accident and his body's literally about to erupt into flames. But he's having this conversation with the Grim Reaper. He says, "Yeah, I can put my hand in the flames and take it back out again. Look, I'm fireproof. Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm literally
Mm.
untouchable. I'm invincible." There we go.
Well,
See what you make.
yes.
Go on.
Well, because that would be how he that is his life. If we understand the rumors that are coming out about how the late Queen Elizabeth, protected him and covered up for him.
Untouchable.
Yeah. So I think even deep down, he will have this belief that although Charles and William's, King Charles and Prince William don't especially seem to like him, they'll have his back. They, Mummy wouldn't let this
Family
happen to
first.
me. Blood is thicker than water.
The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water
Look
of
at
the
that.
womb. Here
That's
we go, back to that one.
the blood spilt
But
on battle is
so
thicker than the water in the womb.
the next couple of things is the rules don't apply. Now, you might think that's the rules of law specifically, but could it be more than just the rules of law? So when we think about the rules don't apply, where does your head go with that? I know with David, it goes straight to law. The rules don't apply to me because we've had these conversations before where that's kind of we won't go into the detail of why, but that's where his head kind of goes with that. For me, if the rules don't apply, it's like, well, it depends on the moment I'm in. If I think I'm in kind of one conversation and this should be it, and then suddenly someone goes off somewhere, and I'm like, well, that wasn't part of the conversation or the point. So the rules have changed, have they, to suit you? So that would be where my head goes. It could be that, one of you is playing chess whilst the other one is playing backgammon. But, the one playing backgammon doesn't know that the other one's playing chess, and the one that's playing chess is a narcissist.
Yes,
But you're
I
still
think
playing
that,
backgammon whilst the narcissist is playing chess. But he's eluded you to believe that you're playing chess with him.
well, I think one of the problems that Andrew is going to have is the first one is the fact that we all call him Andrew now. He's not even Prince. He's not even the Duke of
He's not
York.
even formally. It's like there was never any respect there. We used the title because we had to, but now we don't have to. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, we doesn't respect him anyway. So title don't matter.
yeah. Um, and that's the point. So that's a new game for him anyway, and that only happened at the end of last year, towards the latter part of
Yeah,
last year. His
yeah,
titles were removed, so he would have woken up at the age of 60, whatever it is, and for the first time in his life, his staff would have been allowed to address him as Andrew,
yes,
and in fact, would are not permitted to now refer to him as His Highness or
yes.
Sir or
Yes,
anything
because
like
he's
that.
not on HRH anymore.
No. So that I mean, I don't even imagine how that kind of works because he lost everything overnight, but his only identity especially as a narcissist is, well, the world evolves around me, because it literally does in his case. He grew up with an entire country that evolved around
And the
his family.
Commonwealth.
Yeah, everywhere he went, everywhere he spent his life, his whole family was front and center.
Yeah.
And now people are like, take your own garbage out, mate. And you know, he 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 could literally walk into the counter of Screwfix and be cool. All right, mate, how's it going? It's Whereas once upon a time, he's lost everything like that. But does he know? Like I, just like you and I
I
can't
would
imagine how
I
it's.
would imagine that his narcissism won't allow him to
Hmm.
understand that that's actually the case because part of this or the other trait there that's still there is the grandiose popular. They believe they are in control, that everybody loves them.
Well,
It's a
this is that.
fundamental belief.
Let me just look up the author before I go to the trouble of quoting his book. Is I think he wrote The Downfall of the House of York. The House of York.
It does break my heart a little bit that as someone that used to live in York and I'm from Yorkshire and York's a stunning place, but yet when it comes to our royal and political figures, don't do so well.
That's it. Sorry, it's The Rise and Fall, entitled The Rise and Fall of the House of York by Andrew Lowney. Now, I haven't read the book. I've watched him on several podcasts talking about interviews, etc. And one of the questions posed to him at the time was, are you comfortable saying what you're saying? And he said, yep, 100%. We've run it by the lawyers. We've given them our sources and evidence, and they said, yeah, we're absolutely happy about this. And at one point, when they were contacted by the royal household, and I'm paraphrasing, they basically said, we'll see you in court if you dare. And they never heard anything further back. But one of the things he pointed out is that while Andrew's been described as many things, including a sexual deviant, etc., etc., in his role as prince, in his role as the envoy for trade, etc., etc., he would actually go to events, and because maybe he's gone to the Middle East, Eastern Europe, wherever it is in the world, they want his favor. They will literally have room, he will go think he's being wined and dined at a banquet, find
Yeah,
food,
everybody loves
etc.
him.
Everybody loves him. But some of the women that were placed in those parties, in those dinners, were paid escorts, and they would go and flirt with him. And it gave this kind of grandiose feeling for Andrew, this grandiose
Oh,
reality.
fed into the grandiose narcissist that was already there. It wouldn't give him it; it would just fed into it.
But that's what I mean. If you're a grandiose narcissist and rock up at a party and there's five or six, it's got however many beautiful women, and they all for some reason want to sleep with you, and you're already a grandiose narcissist, and your only living experience, your my truth is that
Love that phrase. You
is
know how much I love that
yeah,
phrase.
right up there with authentic, my being authentic. Um,
Yeah, as my
but
boss
if
told me
you
the
if
other
you
day.
actually take that from Andrew's perspective, Andrew's point of view, in based on his experience, his authentic truth is that he's a fucking playboy that women can't resist.
Well, interestingly enough, because the next thing that came up is black and white thinking in regards to, and it was very specific in this regard, to living or dead. So if we go back to the analogy that H.G. Tudor makes with this guy that's literally he is about to be blown to smithereens. But just in that
Yes.
fraction of a moment before that happens and he's completely dead, he's speaking to the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper's laughing his ass off at him, like, yeah, okay, whatever, mate. I'll let you have the last laugh for now. Just give it a moment, a tiny little moment. Um, and life is either for living or to be dead. So this narcissist in this little sketch is literally he's deflecting. Everything's a deflection. Well, no, I'm great. I'm fantastic. Life is it's for living, isn't it? Everything's just literally so out there and so amazing. Um, and everything's for him. Not there's no sense of fear or dread that he's going to die because, well, he's invincible. He's already
Yeah.
told us that he thinks he's invincible.
I can
So life
imagine
is for
that
living.
Andrew
So
is
live
sitting
it to the
there.
best. Have your girls, have your jets and
But,
your
but, but I can
yachts and
imagine
whatever else.
Andrew is at home tonight saying, basically shouting and screaming at that big bed of teddy bears he has, that that this is unfair. Do they not know who I am?
Yeah.
And he'll probably be shouting and screaming because brother, King Charles, well, you're not doing anything about it. What would mummy
Yeah.
say if mummy was here?
Ouch.
No, but
Not there
that's
thinking
the
about
truth, isn't
growing
it?
up. But we're not just talking about any grown adults here. We're talking about our royal family. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
utter disgrace. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's kind of. It's that strange one, isn't it? Because for you and I, um, me a little bit more, but just because I'm a little bit older, but only in terms of we grew up where the only thing we knew was Queen Elizabeth II. That was our anthem. It was God Save the Queen.
And
So
even the
it,
Sex
it's
Pistols did their own version.
yeah, but this is it. It's not culture. It's not just our culture. It's our identity. It's
Yeah.
actually who we are. Even if you don't like them, you would not have that side of you if they didn't exist. So we don't know, and this is again, this sounds like fucking, to be honest, sounds very grandiose itself, but we don't know how to exist without them because we never have.
A little bit cult-like, would you say? It's a little bit
Yeah, yeah,
culty.
I don't doubt it,
Yeah.
but like we were saying, as I've said to you in the past, the removal of the monarchy. On one hand, it doesn't mean the country collapses tomorrow, but there are so many things entwined with the monarchy, like the Commonwealth, the United Kingdom. Even the fact of we have all of these laws that are entwined around the monarchy. HRMC, our taxes, Her Majesty's Customs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. All
his
our trade deals
everything,
with the EU.
yeah, everything is His Majesty or Her Majesty, as it was. It's then His
Yeah.
Majesty's and everything.
Yep. The
Royal
prisons,
Press, but
including down
this
to
is
the
it.
prisons.
You
Her
know,
Majesty's or His Majesty's prison services. Yep.
let me
And
just
every
check.
prison starts with His or Her Majesty.
And whilst these things don't mean you stop as a country, let me just see. I've got um the Bank of England. Every note has the monarch, and I promise to pay the bearer. And the reason we have the monarch on is it's a sign of, well, you know, with her head, that it's the promise that backs the
It's
Bank
the
of
promise.
England.
Yes.
And it's yeah, I don't know what it means if we don't have a monarch. And don't get me wrong, we will continue, but we're not going to be the country that I knew and grew up in. And I'm not sure. I don't want to get rid of the monarchy. I just, but I also understand that it's kind of a bit of an issue right now. So, and also it's like it's the 20, it's 2026. It's like we're still. I think the problem is
It's like Joffrey in Game of Thrones, isn't it?
yes,
He likes
yeah,
playing with his little toys, and once he becomes king, no one can stop him. And that I think that's Andrew's wet dream.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And maybe he saw himself as House of Lannister, but actually the problem is that's the thing. Because you're such a grandiose narcissist, you would believe that you were the House of Lannister, but you're neither as smart or as intelligent or as fucking noble as any of them. You're more
Yes,
like Cersei.
just an angry little child.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You're Joffrey if Joffrey had never got to the throne.
Well, Joffrey got to the throne, then he was murdered pretty fucking quickly.
Hey, as I sent you that thing the other day, didn't I? Rest in peace, Andrew Mountbatten, who died of suicide next week.
Yes, yes. Prediction for the future. Anyway, this moves now nicely to the next thing. A fantasist.
Can
So
we
they
pause
are
for a cup of tea?
fantasists. Oh,